It's already begun. One game in, and the agenda has begun. I get the banter. Listen, if you're going to misconstrue what I'm about to say and go, Terry, but banter's okay, fair enough. I'm not talking about banter. I'm looking at the genuine, bona fide, ridiculous commentary, punditry I'm hearing about Victor Gyökeres, to a point where lies are now being spread about the percentage of goals against teams in the top half of the league or important goals. Yes, it was a poor, by his standards, a poor debut performance away against Manchester United. It was. And I know Arsenal fans wanted more. And I think it's okay to feel disappointment. I think it's okay to be frustrated. And I think it's okay to demand more. Just like I'm asking you, hit the like button some more. Get that done. More of you subscribe and more of you turn on that bell notification button, please. But the overreaction is crazy. And strangely enough, there is a little bit from the Arteta outers, but a lot of it is coming from the Arteta inners, the ones who wanted Benjamin Šeško. There is this bubbling anger inside so many of them that they got the wrong striker. And Sunday afternoon's game against Manchester United is the proof they need to draw a conclusion. Then you've got the Arteta outers who are a little bit like, nah, he's a right player. I wasn't wrong about that. By the way, I don't think they are right now. I wasn't wrong about that. It's just the manager's system and coaching is the problem. And I believe with all of this, there is just a lot of spaghetti being thrown. Honestly, the Italians are going to be losing their mind, the amount of spaghetti that's being wasted here. Big up Italy, great food, love it. Don't ever break your spaghetti either. Genuinely, do not break your sketty. Don't. I did that once in front of an Italian, and I only just about got out alive, so never do that. But a lot of people are cooking it and throwing it against the wall. And it's like, right, I've thrown about 300 strands at the wall. The 4 or 5 that stick, can say I'm a genius. And that's all we're seeing here. There's nothing more to see. He is still an elite striker. He is still an amazing player. The one thing in all of this, and this even for the Arsenal fans that are defending Gyökeres, the elephant in the room that nobody wants to address because praising Manchester United is seen as sacrilegious. United just played very, very well. If the roles were reversed and Arsenal were all over us and just couldn't quite take their chances, if the keeper was pulling off brilliant saves, if the defenders were getting last-ditch blocks in to stop Gyökeres, to stop Saka, it would be, wow, Arsenal played well. Worried they can't get over the line, but they played well. If they maintain that, they're going to have a great season. Man United, on the other hand, it would be scammed a win, very, very lucky, and if they perform like that many more times, they're going to be in big trouble this year. The conversation would have been flipped. But Man United defensively, by and large, were very good. Barring the set pieces, we don't need to get into that. We know it was horrendous. Even on the counter-attacks, there were a few passes that were overhit. I'm not going to deny it. But there were also a few passes that were almost impossible to make because 1, United are fitter this year, 2, are covering the ground better and understand the positions we're meant to be in, and we cut off the passing lines. So when in the first half, United were attacking and Arsenal were coming. Sometimes it was 3v4, sometimes it was 4v4. United cut off those passing lanes very well. Why couldn't we do it to the same level last season? 1, the system wasn't as embedded into the team as it clearly was yesterday. And 2, the fitness levels weren't there. 3, we have some players in our team, some of which have gone nowhere near the standard, have nowhere near the athleticism. We need much more of it, by the way. But also didn't have the fitness levels to run that hard all game, and you eventually run out of steam. And United did that very, very well. So as much as there's big criticism of Arsenal, sometimes in life you can only do what your opponent allowed you to. Du Plessis got absolutely outclassed by Chimaev. Michael Venom-Page absolutely outclassed Cannonier. Now both Du Plessis and Cannonier are top class to world class fighters. Just on the day, sometimes you can only do what your opponent allowed you to do if they're on point. And the problem is we've gone into this world now of performance-based analysis only. I believe so much of that stems from people wanting to project how they want themselves to be viewed. So I want to make sure I word that correctly so you can hear me. It's not how people are viewed. It isn't how people are, but people want to project a version of themselves that they want you to see. And it's this element of, I'm a winner. So therefore, I'm only going to praise the best performances and wins at the same time that are as close to flawless as possible. That way it shows that I have massively high standards, I'm a high value man, and I know what winning's all about. And it's all just a crock of shit. It's a crock of shit on every single level. Manchester United were very good in large parts yesterday, and the irony in all of that is, had Mbumo's header gone in the bottom corner, and had Cunha have got, say, a penalty late on and we score it, every other facet of the game would have been the same. And there'd be massive praise for Man United, the way we stopped Arsenal from attacking, how we cut off the passing lines, the press that we had, the control that we had for large parts of the games. That would all suddenly get praised because a couple of shots went in. Yet those shots don't go in and everything else is being disregarded. It is an atrociously bad, as shallow as a worm's grave. That's how shallow it is, level of analysis. And why do I bring that up? Because it's important for the Gyökeres conversation. The knives are already out. And I think to get the best out of Gyökeres, I think to make Arsenal's team as good as possible, Arsenal fans have got to stay true. I think and I don't mean truth as in, I'm going to call out all the bad things. I think you've got to be true. In some respects, always blind supporters for a while. Do you know what? I'm just going to support the man. I'm just going to egg him on. I'm just going to get behind him. I'm going to ignore the noise in terms of, I don't have to publicly project it. Doesn't make you more of a real man. Doesn't make you a better fan. I think your team needs your support. I think Gyökeres needs your support because the media and the rivals are gunning for him. My question is, how are you going to help remedy that? He's got to perform, yes. But I think most footballers perform when they know their fans have got their back rather than ready to stick an axe into their back. But that's just me. You signed an elite striker with 97 goals in 105 games. He was the better choice over Šeško, although I'm happy that Manchester United have Šeško because I think both are very good players. You just need to give him a little bit of time. Not all players score hat-tricks on their first game. Not all players hit the ground running in that way. Man United away has been a tough place for 20, 30 years for Arsenal. They've never won a game more than 1-0 at Old Trafford. And think about the quality of strikers and attackers and Arsenal teams that have come to Old Trafford in that time. So to walk away with a win from an Arsenal perspective was very good. Gyökeres, yes, it wasn't his best of days. But so much of that was down to how good Euro was. So much of that was down to how good De Ligt was. Even though our midfield isn't that great, the amount of times Casemiro, especially that first half, got back, got in that tackle, cut off that passing line. There was that great counter-attack that you guys had where Saka's in a brilliant position, and the way Mount got back, no one expected that. If Saka beats him, Gyökeres is there. I think at that moment, Gyökeres was there in the middle, probably would have got to tap him. And imagine if one of those counter-attacks, the Man United team weren't as good, and one of those passes came through, one of your players beat our man, put it across, and there he was 6 yards out to tap it in. And that was all that happened. That wouldn't suddenly make him the greatest signing of all time either. And this is we're sort of creating conclusions with very small sample size, and I think it's wrong. I think it's wrong. The hate for Gyökeres, I think, is an absolute joke. The writing off of Gyökeres already, I think, is so premature. Get behind your player. Be as supportive as possible. Yes, criticise when criticism is needed. But my advice to Arsenal fans, and you can take it or leave it if you want. You feel free to do what you want. It's your club. Get behind your player. I think that's the way you're going to get the very best out of him. Hit the like and the share button, please. Make sure you're all subscribing, and we'll see you all again soon.